Hi everyone and welcome back to Ticks and Crime. I'm Sky and on this channel we discuss true crime cases with respect, honesty and awareness, and yes, a few ticks along the way. Today we're covering one of the most heartbreaking and shocking cases in modern British history. In 2002, two best friends went to go buy sweets, but sadly they would never return home. What happened next was one of the biggest missing person investigations the UK has ever seen, and the person responsible was someone the community trusted. This is a story of Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman, and the person that murdered them, Ian Huntley. Our story takes place in a small town called Soham in Cambridge, England. Soham was a kind of place where people knew everyone and people would keep their doors unlocked, kids would go out playing, everyone just trusted each other and the crime rates were really low. So nothing like this had ever happened before, and this is why on August 2002 this case would just shock the town. 10-year-olds Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman were just best friends. They would play with each other, they went to the same school. After school they would always be playing around each other, and the friends and the family would just say they were two beautiful little girls who were kind, smart, funny, and just amazing little girls that should have grown up to be incredible women. On August 4th, 2002, the two girls were going to go to the shop to go buy some sweets. And they'd made this journey loads, like it wasn't anything new and it was very short from their house, so the parents were completely fine with this. So at around 6:15 p.m. the two girls left their house, and it would have still been bright at this time in the UK in August, so it wasn't like it was dark either. It was sunny, people would still be walking around, kids were still playing out. And so obviously the parents were like, yeah, fine, go buy your sweets. The families just could not imagine what would happen next. These two beautiful little girls would just never return home. Witnesses said they saw the two girls walking through the town together. They were both wearing matching Manchester United t-shirts, which would later become a key detail to try find these two little girls. They looked happy, carefree, like nothing was wrong, because this was just another day for them. They'd done this hundreds of times, probably. Witnesses said they looked happy, carefree, just having fun with one another. At around 6:30 p.m, the girls were reportedly seen near the house of someone that worked at their school, the caretaker Ian Huntley. At this time, Ian Huntley was 28 years old. He worked as a caretaker at the Soham Village College, which means he was around children and young adults loads. To most of the people there, he appeared friendly, just like a normal man that you would see in that town. No one had any suspicions about him. But investigators would soon find a disturbing past to him.
Witness. Ian Huntley here is a familiar figure. Evening, Ian. You're the school caretaker. The girls, Jessica and Holly, would know you, and they saw you on the front doorstep. What went on?
Well, I don't know the girls. I was stood on the front doorstep grooming my dog down. She'd run away and come back a bit of a mess. They just came across and asked how Miss Carr was, as she used to teach them at St Andrews. I just said she weren't very good, as she hadn't got the job. And they just said, please tell her that we're very sorry. And off they walked in the direction of the library over there.
Before moving to Soham, Ian Huntley had been reported to the police for sexual assault and violence towards women. Several complaints had been made to the police, but sadly these were never properly communicated between the police forces, and because of that failure, Ian Huntley would be able to get a job around children, something that should have never, ever happened. When the girls didn't return home after a few hours, the parents began to get worried, because at first they just thought, oh, maybe they'd seen some friends or they just got caught up, playing like normal kids do. So at first they weren't worried, but as it got later into the night, they started to worry and panic. They began searching the streets, calling all their friends and just asking people if they'd seen their children. Not long after this, the police were contacted. Within hours, the police and just the community were out looking for these two little girls. Search teams began combing through fields, rivers, just everywhere they could think of that two little girls might be. Posters were put up everywhere, and it would also soon hit the news. People from all around the UK knew about this and were watching this story unfold, hoping for the safe return of these two little girls. But investigators were soon starting to suspect a darker outcome. Police had begun interviewing people that had seen the girls that night. Eventually, they spoke to Ian Huntley. At first, Ian had told the police that he had not seen the girls that night, but later his story would change. He said the girls knocked on his door to ask if his girlfriend was there, Maxine Carr, who was a teaching assistant at their school. Huntley claimed that he told the girls she wasn't in and that the girls walked off. But detectives soon came to realise his story just kept on changing. He couldn't keep with just one story. Just things were constantly changing. As the days passed, the search grew even larger. Hundreds of volunteers joined the police to help try find these girls. There were helicopters searching fields. They also had divers going through all water and stuff, just trying to find them or any evidence. The girls' parents went on national TV just begging for any information or just for their little girls to come home. Honestly, the whole country was just hoping for a miracle, hoping these two little girls were safe somewhere. But behind the scenes, the police just were starting to investigate Ian Huntley now. They'd become very suspicious of this man. Heartbreakingly, 2 weeks after these two beautiful little girls went missing, their bodies would be found. It was August 17th, 2002 when police discovered their bodies. The girls were found in a remote ditch in Lakenheath, about 25 miles away from Soham, and it was just devastating. It was heartbreaking to know these girls weren't going to be coming back to their parents alive. The whole of the UK was just heartbroken over this. But now this case wasn't just looking for two missing girls, it had turned into a murder investigation. Soon after that, the police arrested Ian Huntley on suspicion of murder. The trial began in 2003 in the Old Bailey in London. Prosecutors argued that Ian lured the girls to his house and attacked them. Evidence already showed that he had lied multiple times to the police. Forensic evidence also linked him to the crime as well. Ian Huntley, though, claimed their deaths were accidental. He gave a bullshit story that one of these little girls had just suddenly died and he panicked, which was just get a fucking grip, man. Investigators didn't believe this, and the jury also didn't believe this. Just terrible lie. On December 17th, 2003, Ian Huntley was found guilty of 2 murders. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 40 years. Ian Huntley's girlfriend was also charged, not for murder, but because she lied to the police and gave them a false alibi about where Ian Huntley was the night of the girls going missing. She was convicted of perverting the course of justice. She served 21 months in prison. Side note, it makes me so angry when people get fake identities, because you've helped your boyfriend. Yeah, you didn't do anything in the murders, but you gave the police fake alibis when these 2 little girls were murdered. What is wrong with you? You do not deserve a new identity. You don't deserve that safety. You deserve that abuse. You deserve whatever you get. Like, it just makes me so mad. How can you just lie to the police when 2 little girls have gone missing? I'm sorry, it makes me so mad. You deserve the abuse that you are going to get if you lie or if you assist or anything with a case that involves children. I'm sorry, it just makes me so makes me so mad. The Soham murders shocked the whole of the UK for obvious reasons, you know. The whole nation was just heartbroken over the deaths of these 2 beautiful little girls. But this case also showed the failures in communication between the police. If Ian Huntley's past allegations had been shared and communicated properly to the police in the Soham area, he would have never got that job around children. So it's just disgusting how the police just failed. For all we knew, this crime might not have taken place. But because of the failure of the police system in this case, and honestly in quite a lot of cases as well, it's just disgusting. Like, I'm sorry, when it comes to just children cases, it just makes me so angry. Like, how can such horrible, evil people do this? And it always seems that they manage to just slip through, like, police and stuff, and they manage to get these jobs around children. We just need to do better. The safety of children needs to be protected at all cost. We need to do better. But this did lead to the Pritchard inquiry, which recommended major changes to children protection laws. This did lead, though, to the Pritchard inquiry, which recommended major changes to child protection systems. These reforms later helped create the Disclosure and Bearing Service, which helps to prevent dangerous individuals to live or work near where loads of children are. The story of Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman will be a case that the UK will just never forget. 2 best friends, 2 beautiful little girls, smart little girls, like, kind little girls, had their lives snuffed out by a fucking monster. This case just changed laws and also just showed failures of the police system, and I really hope that the police did learn a lesson from this, and I just hope that the families are healing as best as they can. I mean, I know you're never gonna fully heal from, like, the family's never gonna fully heal from this, but I hope they find some sort of healing, and I hope them little girls are in heaven somewhere playing together and just having fun. And there is a special place in hell waiting for Ian Huntley. And he's been attacked quite a few times in prison, which, good. I hope this man gets everything he deserves and more. And I hope when he dies, he goes to hell and he just is in pain for, like, all of eternity. I hope this man is miserable for the rest of his life. But please remember that this is not a story, this is real life, and this happened to 2 little girls, so please be respectful about this, about the little girls. Absolutely no respect to Ian Huntley, though. Like, that man can, for all I care, that man can die. I honestly wish we had death penalty in the UK, or I don't know, where the killer has to go through what he did to victims, because that would be beautiful. Beautiful. I just I don't know how people can do this to other people, especially children. He is broken. He's pure evil. And yeah, I hope he's miserable. And I hope when he gets to help, he is in pain for all eternity. Thank you for watching my video. I really hope you subscribe and like if you enjoyed or found my content interesting. Please let me know what cases you would like me to cover in the comments. And as always, please stay safe and please stay educated.